something from somewhere. I hope all is well with everybody. We're getting started for today. I hope it's not too noisy. Not only am I out and about, but I also have my windows down because it's pretty warm outside. I thought it was going to be a little cooler, so I did wear a long sleeve, but the sun is out shining and the wind is not blowing like it has been for the past couple of days. So it is way warmer than what I thought it was going to be, which is not hot out here, but it's definitely warm in the car. So at some point I might have to open the door, turn the air on or something just to get a little ventilation through, but I do have the windows down, so I should be fine. Actually, let me lower down this back one a little bit more, just so. But I hope all is well with all of you today. I hope that you're having a great day. Today is Wednesday, so happy Wednesday. If you are on my email list, then you know that every single Wednesday I send out a Wellness Wednesday email to my email list subscribers, so you should be getting that pretty soon if you haven't already. I think I scheduled it for later then, because normally I either do early or afternoon, so I think I scheduled it for the afternoon today. So what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be diving into today, is using food as our medicine, tying it to this holiday season, and understanding how you don't have to starve through the holiday season on your health journey, and you don't have to suffer through the holidays just because you're not eating what everybody else is eating, nor do you have to suffer through to balance and protect your hormones during these holidays. Because I know that it's really hard when you get around family and tradition to sit back and say, well, I'm going to eat it now and then I'll fix myself at the end of the year, the beginning of the year, next year, whatever else. And a lot of you are not understanding that it does not take it, you don't have to make it difficult. Your health journey does not have to be a difficult journey. You don't have to sit back and suffer through you being healthy. But that's what diet culture has put on you, and that's what it has taught you, that in order for you to be healthy, you have to suffer. In order for you to take care of your body, you're never going to be comfortable. You're never going to be able to eat the foods that you enjoy. But you don't realize, because you haven't actually been in the space of seeing the foods that you love being created in a plant-based space, how simple they can be to be made in modifications that aren't terrible, that aren't toxic, that aren't going to make you inflammatory and make you ill and then lead you to illness and diseases. Because a lot of women are dealing with hormonal imbalances. Millions of women are dealing with hormonal imbalances, and you know and you feel that you can't keep operating in this way, and your body is giving you all the signs and the symptoms of that. You're tired, you're inflamed, you're overwhelmed, and you're playing a guessing game to try to fix it. And so since you're playing this guessing game, you're never going to know what clarity, what peace, what balance feels like within the body. And so you're going to continuously be sitting back wondering why it's never working. I thought I saw a wasp. I was like, please do not fall down in here, because you know it gets warm outside and then all the wasps decide that it's time for them to come back and start roaming around. So when you are looking for that clarity, that peace, that balance, you have to know why you're feeling like you're all over the place, why you feel disconnected, where are the pain points stemming from, why in the world you feel like you wake up and you're groggy, you have no energy, and it's deeper than just, oh, I didn't get enough sleep or I'm stressed out. But understanding that if you get 8 to 10 hours of sleep and yet you wake up and you're still tired, that means that you didn't have actual rest during your slumber, and that is something that should be investigated. The same thing about if you are having to drink coffee for energy crashes in the midday, feeling like you're sleepy midday, and then on top of that, you're having all these different cravings that are louder than your discipline. You're dealing with this cycle that's unpredictable. You're dealing with tenderness during that time, PMSing. You're dealing with inflammation and bloating. And then you're dealing with the stress of trying to control your appetite, deal with family if you have kids or anything else, deal with the fact that your mood is all over the place and unstable, lacking sleep, and you feel like your body is turning against you or that you're a failure. But it's not because your body is turning against you or that you're a failure, but the reality is you're not giving your body what it needs, and your hormones are calling out for help, and they're showing you the different signs to know that it is not balanced. And so as we go into this, we're already in the holiday season, but as we go into next week where people love to eat and they're going to eat and you're going to eat in a plethora, remember the fact that there is nothing wrong with your body, and you should not be blaming your body for the repercussions that happen after you eat terrible toxic foods, after you give your body an inflammatory state. So how do we get from the space of not realizing what our hormone symptoms are meaning, not realizing that our symptoms aren't random in general, not understanding how it's not about getting older and how your body is impacted when you get older. Thank you for liking up the live. I appreciate it. Understanding that it's not because you lack willpower or motivation, but it's because you don't understand the connection for the communication that your body is trying to give you. You're not seeing the signs of what the body is communicating to you, nor do you understand what they're saying. And so you're taught to ignore them. But they're messages, and these messages are to show you exactly how you fix the problems, because this is how you get to the root. But when you're not understanding what the signals mean, nor that they are signals, you're going to continuously gaslight your own body, and then you make yourself think that there's something wrong with you, or this is just a part of being a person, a woman, a man, whatever else, and this is how the body operates. Because for women, we're taught that PMSing is normal, and this is a part of being a woman because you have a cycle, and that's just what's going to happen. But that's not the truth. That's not the truth at all. The reality of it all is the fact that we don't have any stabilization in our habits, and so our body feels uncomfortable. Our body does not trust us, and so it's giving us the repercussions of us not being on a healthy foundation, us not giving it what it needs, us not connecting with how our gut, our liver, our pancreas, and our kidneys are all vital key systems that need clarity, and they need to be supported in a full plethora. Because if you don't give them that support, they don't feel safe. And so then you operate in fight or flight mode, and this over years, over time, makes you pump more cortisol, and you are going to have the issue of that stress hormone being throughout your body, and this causes your body to spike your insulin. It causes you to have mental illness. It causes you to not have a stable gut, because the body needs to be able to trust you in order to not develop IBS. Your body has to trust you in order for it to not be sitting here pumping out a whole bunch of stress hormones trying to correct what you're doing every day when you eat. But when you don't understand what's going on, you're gonna miss the signals, and you're not gonna understand where they're coming from. And so your hormones are not the first thing that become out of balance, but it's the last thing to let you know that you have been on a path of toxicity for quite a while, and nothing you have done has set it up for success. And so you're reaping the repercussions of what that looks like, because your gut speaks to you first. People who are dealing with IBS and the symptoms of just like gut related issues don't understand that it's deeper than just you need a gut supplement and balance your gut. Because when you just tackle the gut but you don't tackle the other systems, and you're thinking that the gut is the only problem, when you're finally developing a chronic illness inside the gut, your IBS and etc., do you realize that is because the body is literally telling you, and it's sitting back and it's saying, hey, I have not been given what I need. And so you've been throwing off your gut for I don't know how long. And since you've been throwing off your gut for 10, 20, 30 years and you have not switched anything, now I'm showing you the signs of that your liver has been overloaded, your pancreas is not producing insulin at a normal rate, and that the kidneys are now starting to leak things inside of your blood. Because it is deeper than just your gut. The gut is going to affect the brain. And so then now your brain is going, well, I'm anxious, I'm depressed because I'm in fight or flight mode. And so we're never going to have a stable month, let alone a stable 2 weeks, let alone a stable few days. And so people wonder why, especially around the holiday season, why they go through so much depression. And they wonder why they have so much anxiety. And then I sit back and I'm asking them, what are you eating? Because a lot of people are not understanding that it's deeper than just, oh, I'm sad because maybe I'm not hanging out with my family or my friends, or maybe I am and they're making me sad or whatever else. But you're not understanding that the foods that you're eating are affecting how your mood is. Because the stabilization of your mood starts within you. Regardless of everything else that happens outside in the outside world, your mood stabilization starts within you. So if your mood is not stabilized on a regular basis, from you just waking up in the morning and being yourself, you need to look at the foods that you're eating. You need to look at, are you drinking alcohol? Are you consuming things that you have no business consuming? And this is affecting how stable you are. I have something in my eye. Hold on. It's like a lash. And so during this time, because I think it's next week, I don't celebrate the holidays, but I do understand how the significant is, and it's pushed all in our faces. And so when you are going to celebrate with your family, or you're getting in the mood of next week, you're off, you're at home, look at how everybody's mood is after they eat all the crap. Look at how and observe how everybody's mood is going to shift around the holiday, the last season holiday, around Christmas, and really understand that it's deeper than just everybody's tired and they're ready to be off. It's because everybody's eating inflammatory foods. This is throwing off their gut, and that gut is responding in a way that it's making your body, your brain itself, go, well, I can't trust you. So since I can't trust you, I'm going to start giving you all of these symptoms. I'm going to start giving you anxiety. You're going to start having depression. And by mid-January, all of these people, not even mid-January, I don't even say mid-January, I say the Monday we get back after the New Year holiday, all of these people are going to be complaining, and they're going to be mad, and they're going to be upset. There's going to be a lot of drama at workplaces. And it's not just because everybody was tired and they didn't want to come back to work, but it's because you all were eating toxic foods, and you're already in a kind of a chaotic environment with work. And you're adding on the stress of everybody's mental states. That's why. That's why. So think and really connect exactly what is going on, because your gut is the emotional place, or this is your regulator for your emotional state. That's what I want to say. When your gut is inflamed, you don't just get bloated. Like I said, you get anxious, you get irritable, your brain fog is serious, and then on top of that, you reiterate that you cannot trust yourself from the inside. Your body just continuously reminds itself when every time you eat, and it's not a good food, a healthy food, and not just a salad, not you starving yourself, but understanding what stabilizers are, eating a rainbow plate, eating enough calories, eating enough food where the body can trust you. It goes, well, you're going to be out of balance this month, and your hormones are going to be all over the place, because your gut is the home for your immune system and neurotransmitters. This is the home, a stabilizing place. When it's unstable, it's because the gut is unstable. So when you are having that instability in the gut, which also is a place where your hormones, specifically your estrogen, is supposed to, or not your estrogen, excuse me. Let me rephrase that. Your cortisol is supposed to be low, because you do produce cortisol inside the gut. This is going to cause the liver to panic, because it's going to go, well, I'm not digesting at a proper rate. I'm not getting enough nutrients absorbed and being able to use in all the other organs. So now guess what? The liver is holding on to excess estrogen. It's holding on to progesterone. It's holding on to cortisol. It's holding on to all the stress from the foods that you're eating and all the toxins from the foods that you're eating. So those additives and those fillers, dyes, all those different things, is holding on to those. The liver is the place where your hormones are supposed to be expelled that are not supposed to be there. But when you don't have a healthy liver, you're going to be holding on to those, and they turn toxic. And you're going to have an overload, and then you're going to become estrogen dominant. Then you're going to be progesterone dominant. And you're going to develop things like PCOS, fibroids. You're going to be having issues with a painful menstrual cycle or a heavy cycle. You're going to be having that cycle that is irregular. It's a full domino effect when you do not take care of each aspect of the body. And so when you are in this toxic state, this estrogen dominant state, this excess hormone state, this produces more cortisol throughout the body, because it puts stress chemicals going throughout your body, because you're not expelling the toxins. It's just holding on to them. And what the liver does, the gut does, when they have too much toxins and they don't know what to do with it, it starts to store it inside of your fat cells, because it can't expel it. It doesn't know what to do with it. How you doing? Welcome in. And so it holds on to them, and it stores them inside of your fat cells. And so you don't work out, because that's what I'm talking about during this time of the season. People get depressed and they're trying to figure out why. We don't move as much as we do when we're out and about in the warmth. We're not getting as active as we are. We're not eating good. We're not eating more fruits, because the summertime, I don't know about you, but I like summer fruits more than I do winter fruits, but I still love my winter fruits. But I feel like I eat more fruits than I do in the summer than I do in the winter, because I get my watermelons, I get my oranges, like I get a whole bunch of different fruits that I usually can't have during the winter that I absolutely love. They're my favorites. And so a lot of people have no favorite winter fruits whatsoever, let alone think about eating fruits during the winter, because you associate fruits with summertime. And so you're not getting enough of the healthy flushing that you need from fruits, and oxygen from the fruits, the hydration from the fruits, and you are going to be stagnant within the body doing these things, because you're not moving and exercising, nor are you using natural water that isn't just you drinking and consuming H2O, but understanding that fruits have a different type of water that the body absorbs in a different way, and it helps your organs. The same thing with oxygen, because it goes deep to a cellular level when you're digesting correctly. So when you are constantly in this state of being backed up, whether you're eating fast food, drinking alcohol, the stress from high cortisol, poor sleep, your hormones lock into the state of survival mode, and it's consistently not trusting you. Thank you guys for the likes. And so as you go on and you put your body in this high cortisol state, this raises your blood sugar. It's deeper than just high blood pressure. It raises your blood sugar. And as it raises your blood sugar, and your blood sugar is not in a stabilized state, you're going to have all these cravings. You're going to be sitting here dealing with the excess belly fat. You're going to be dealing with the mood swings. And then you're going to develop insulin resistance. And that insulin resistance over time, undealt with, unfixed, unstabilized, is how you develop diabetes. So it's not just because you're doing something wrong and there's something wrong with you, but it's literally because you have not been set up in a society that has taught you exactly how to make the connections with your body's key essential functions, and also make the connections of how to fix something if it's feeling off or it's feeling wrong. Because diet culture doesn't teach you how to fix. It teaches you how to manage and to make it by with the same issues that you had. It doesn't teach you how to fix. And so since it doesn't teach you how to fix it, when you do your keto, your paleo, your Weight Watchers, your Jenny Craig, whatever else, Whole 30s, you're never going to be able to sustain the health that you achieve during that time of however long you do it. And I'm speaking as somebody who did a diet for about 6 months, give or take, I'd say probably a little bit longer, but about 6 months, I did a diet. And I was following diet culture. I was doing it. I was losing weight. I lost about 15, 20 pounds. I was feeling good. I was like, oh, I'm slimming down. I don't want to be skinny, but I want to slim down. And then as soon as I went back to my old habits, it's been 6 months. That should be sustainable, right? Like, I'm like, okay, went back to my old habits. I'm eating out sometimes. I'm not eating. I'm still introducing bread, dairy, all the different things back in, but I'm still eating lean meats. I'm still eating okay. I gained all the weight back and some. When I started to introduce those simple things back in that should be simple, but it was because I wasn't reading my labels. I didn't understand what toxins were in these foods, nor did I understand how important it is to be eating more fruits and vegetables, plant-based meals than anything else. Because when you're incorporating these things back into your life and you're adding in all the toxins, your body just flips back into the old state and goes, well, I couldn't trust you before, and now you're eating the old foods that made me toxic in the first place. So I might as well just hold on to all the toxins, because we're going to starve ourselves, calorie count, and restrict again when we go back on the diet. And I didn't like that, because the body does not like that. When you starve yourself and you're hungry and you know you should be eating, you're not getting enough calories, and you're not eating the foods that you should be eating to absorb the nutrients, your body is panicking because it thinks you're dying. Like, that's as simple as that. Your body is sitting there looking at you and going, this is not how you regulate me. This is not how you help me be able to get the vitamins and minerals that I need. It does not give me the hydration that I need. Nor is it helping you stabilize your blood sugar, your blood pressure, like your cortisol. All you're doing is just making your body more chaotic and more crazy. And that is a space where we are taught to operate in. And so many people operate in this space and they don't know what the body is naturally supposed to feel like. So when somebody brings up, or you actually get to experience what the body is supposed to feel like, it's a complete hit in the face when you realize this is not the way that you're supposed to be living. They have taught you in a space of toxicity how to be healthy. That's not right. It's not sustainable and it's not healthy. So in order for you to regulate the body, you have to get rid of all of these habits that are on a rocky, chaotic foundation and start to learn exactly how we support the body from the inside out. What do these symptoms mean, and how do we make them make sense to get to the root cause of what's going on? Nothing is actually wrong with you. It's the habits that you have been taught that are wrong. And so we have to figure out why the body is so overworked and why it feels so overwhelmed and undersupported. Because when you have been taught for 10, 15, 20 years, you've been eating this way, or however long, since you've been eating literally as a toddler when you finally started eating solids, and you've been taught how to do these things in a negative light, in a space that is not keeping you healthy, this is your norm. But just because it's the norm of what is common in society does not mean this is how your body is supposed to operate. Thank you for the rose and thank you for the likes. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. So why do quick fixes not work? This is the question that a lot of people are not understanding when they're doing diet culture, because diet culture is quick fix. It's quick fixes. So diet culture is a space where you medicate, you starve, you detoxify only the gut or only the liver or only the brain or whatever. You focus on one aspect instead of the whole body. You sit here and you think that a herb, a tincture, or a herbal tea is going to help you be able to fix something while you still eat and be in a terrible, chaotic state. You use surgeries, and this is the way for you to balance yourself out. But this is never going to be a sustainable place because you have not changed the habits that have led you here for a new lifestyle. And so if you're not going to have a new lifestyle with habits that support you in sustaining your health, you're going to consistently be doing this like flopping back and forth, this cat and mouse game with yourself. It's a ladybug. I thought it was some bee or something. You cannot support the body in reversing what you have going on in the masculine hustle techniques. And masculine hustle techniques look like you doing quick fixes, quick things, quick, fast, in a hurry. Because as a woman that should be operating from their cycle syncing, understanding what the phases of your cycle are, knowing how they operate, how they function, and how you should operate according to them, especially in a space of you eating more plant-based foods and you incorporating this in your life so you balance your hormones, then you understand that diet culture has taught you to chase that intensity of unstabilization, but that quick fast, it's gonna be a quick solution. It's gonna happen now. You're gonna lose 5 pounds in a week. You're gonna lose 10 pounds in 10 days. Because the marketing is so heavy and so strong, but you don't sit back long enough to understand that you've never been able to sustain diet culture. You've never been able to keep yourself in a healthy state doing diet culture. Because eventually you're gonna get tired of eating salads and eating 1,000 calories a day. You're gonna be tired of sitting here starving every single day. You're going to want to go out and eat with your friends. You're going to be tired of sitting here not being able to eat different foods because you want to have a snack. So at what point do you understand that your hormones need consistency? And that consistency looks like you having a stabilized foundation, not to push harder, but to understand what alignment with what your body needs looks like. And so if you are wanting to learn how to use food as your medicine and stop doing diet culture, not restricting, not sitting here tracking all your calories and not punishing yourself for being hungry because you are a person. And like I said, next week is going to be a real difficult time for people who are trying to stay on their health journey, but you shouldn't be punished for being hungry. You just have to set yourself up for success. You have to understand that it's about nourishing the body, having a structure. So setting yourself up for that day that you are going to be hungry and everybody's going to be starving and you're going to see all the yummy foods, making sure you have your own yummy foods to eat. Making sure you have something that is not just a salad that you know you don't want to eat on a regular basis, but making something that is dairy free, making something that isn't full of a whole bunch of inflammatory meats, not sitting back and thinking that this is just a part of life and you'll get it together by January 1st or you'll get it together after January 1st. Because your hormones are asking for a change. So when you are in sync and you are in harmony with the body, you're going to no longer have all the bloating. It's going to calm down. Your cravings are going to relax. You're not going to have these cravings that are misconstruing your health journey, but you're going to sit back and you're going to be able to have a discerning thought and realize that I'm craving sugar because my blood sugar is not regulated and not stable. And so I'm craving a whole bunch of sugar because I'm expelling. Your energy is going to stabilize and you're going to have it, and you're going to actually be able to wake up with energy. You're going to have periods that aren't feeling painful, menstrual cycles that are not going to have the issue of you dealing with cramps and PMSing, dealing with the irritability. You're going to have stabilization in your mood. You're not going to be dealing with the blood sugar dysregulation. You're not going to be dealing with the emotional overwhelmed feeling, and your body's going to trust you again, and it's going to feel safe. This is what happens when your hormones balance themselves. You're not going to be dealing with all the high cortisol. Your body needs safety within itself. It doesn't need you to find a quick, fast solution. It needs you to give it that comfortability of, okay, I can do this. You're giving me what I need. So now I can relax. So that way we can start reversing what we have going on. Not just sitting here doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and being the literal definition of insanity. So if you are looking for a space for you to be able to do this for yourself, to have a shift away from survival mode and to leave that and to never go back to that. How you doing, Eli? Thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. How you start doing that and having a blueprint for yourself to get away from the guessing games and start to establish the alignment that you're looking for. I have established my balanced body blueprint. This balanced body blueprint will be gone by January 1st. It is the last year that I'm going to be doing the balanced body blueprint. There's going to be something that's going to go into a deeper, I don't know exactly if it's going to be another program or a course, but it's going to go into something deeper, something bigger. And it's going to be able to help you be able to not only support the body, but to reverse what you have going on, giving you that gut restoration, that gut support. How are you everybody doing today on this fine Wednesday? It's going to give you that liver support. It's going to help you be able to regulate your blood sugar, help you be able to understand cycle syncing techniques as a woman to get your hormones in check and in balance. So that way your cycle does not feel like a punishment, but it's giving back to you. Understanding exactly what using food as your medicine looks like, and how food can be your guide into the space of restoration if you know how to use it correctly. Knowing exactly what it looks like for you to be able to sustain healthy habits, and for you to have a complete structure that allows you to build on a healthy foundation rather than be on a foundation full of cracks and holes that you're sitting here wobbling and shaking on, constantly playing this, I fall down, I got to get back up. I fall down, I got to get back up. Because a lot of people are tired of that. You're not able to sustain your health in diet culture. People are tired of doing healthy lifestyle, healthy diet culture things alone. And so if you were tired of doing these things alone, if you need step-by-step support, if you were tired of playing the guessing games, I'm here to help you with my Balanced Body program, because it is your step-by-step guide. You're going to have one-on-ones with me. We have an app. Sorry for all that beeping. I don't know what that beep is. Somebody's backing up. I'm like, all this beeping and stuff. Let me close this. So I am here to support you if you are looking for support and you are looking for a way for you to be able to completely reverse what you have going on, balance your hormones as a woman, and understand what cycle syncing looks like. And doing it from a space of you incorporating more plant-based meals in your life, so you understand how the body flushes and restores itself when you give it what it needs. But when it doesn't have what it needs, it's going to consistently make and create a space that is toxic, that is uncomfortable, that feels like a punishment. Stop feeling like your body is punishing you because you're a woman, because that's not the truth. Your body is not punishing you because you have a menstruation. Your body is punishing you because you don't understand how important that menstruation is to your habits of what you're doing when it comes to the foods that you eat, the products that you use, heck, your work schedule, how you operate. And I know that a lot of people are still in the 9-to-5 space. So you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, how do I operate if I have to go to work? Because you don't understand exactly the times of when you need grace and when you need to rest. So you're sitting here thinking, I just need to push through. I'm tired today. I just need to push through. But that's your body letting you know you're in a phase where you don't need to push through. Actually, you need to relax. And that's why a lot of you get in the gym and you aren't able to stay in the gym, because you're working out at times that your body does not want you sitting in here weightlifting and running. It just wants a simple walk and a stretch, or just a stretch in general. But you're over here working out so hard and you're thinking it's because you're being lazy. The laziness and the lack of motivation is what society has taught you as buzzwords. This is not the problem. The problem is the fact that you don't understand when your body is speaking to you. And if you are looking for that support, my Balanced Body program is linked in my bio. I don't have any time for any extra questions for today. That's why we did a Q&A for today. Because I need to go in the store. My dog doesn't have any more food, so I gotta go in here and get her some food because she has not eaten this morning, which is fine because she ate last night. She can fast for a little bit. I try to fast her as well, just like I fast too. It's good for your dogs. It's good for their health. If you have any pets, just FYI, I set her up for that. So I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your Wednesday. Thank you for being here. If you're looking for the Balanced Body program, it is linked in my bio. If you're looking for more support, or if you are needing a one-on-one, it is linked in my bio, as well as the fact that if you see any links that aren't working and you're trying to click them, please DM me. I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'm out, y'all. Peace.